Hold on. Okay.
My name is Jackie Moore, and I am your bookkeeper here at St. Timothy's. Pastor Robin had asked me to share my experience that I had with tithing and giving to the church. I grew up in a church and saw my parents just write checks to the church. I never knew what it was about or anything. I just knew that they wrote checks to the church, and I never tithed because I wasn't necessarily taught that. And as I got older, I became a single mom, and money was very tight. And I met my husband at the time, or who's my boyfriend, and he explained to me about tithing, and he talked about giving 10% to the Lord, and we had conversations about it, and my first reaction was like, no way, I cannot even afford to pay my bills, much less give money to the church. And I feel like God had really moved my heart to try it. I was very doubtful, and so I reluctantly began to tithe, and I was incredibly humbled because God, in so many ways, He made sure I had everything I needed. My daughter had everything she needed. I would receive money from places I never thought, like insurance reimbursement, just things that I never even imagined. And I basically, it was, I felt so humbled that even though I was walking into this with doubts, that God showed me how big He is and how He takes care of me. And in Matthew 6:21, it talks about where your treasure is, there is your heart. My treasure is with the Lord, and I am a happy giver because I have seen what the Lord can do in so many ways when I just trust Him. I don't look at what the money is going to. I just give it to the Lord and let Him send it where it needs to go. And it was a beautiful thing, and even to this day, it just puts butterflies in my stomach when I think about. And it's good for me to think about that because it just reminds me how much the Lord loves me.
So it really grew your faith.
Yes, absolutely. It grew my faith tremendously.
Can you say more about that?
Okay, well, because I saw, even though, we're not supposed to test God, I guess in a sense I was, and he showed Himself faithful. It showed me that I could trust Him. I began to trust Him in so many other areas of my life, raising my daughter, getting married.
So it opened a doorway for you?
Yes, I guess
of
you
trust,
could say that.
Kind of?
It was a, I think during all that time that God was working in me really strong, because I feel like during all that time is whenever I had my rebirth into believing in Jesus. And I think the seed that started it was tithing. It was, I think God knew that was something that would get my attention. So it's a beautiful thing. Robert and I always pray, about, what of course we give 10%, but there are times that we give more. And it's not always an easy decision, but I always have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food on my table, my dogs get fed, and that's all very important to me. We impressed this upon our kids and really showed them the relationship with our Savior, and in all things, not just, there's that relationship with God, with prayer and service, but also with our monetary gifts. And my kids have seen it work. Maybe not as deep and as powerful as what I did, because I wasn't taught. My husband has wonderful parents and taught him, and so I'm very thankful for that, because he has helped me so much to see what a relationship with God is all about. It encompasses everything, with my job, my kids, my friends, my finances, just with everything. And I just wonder, Robin brings up a good point, I just wonder, if I hadn't had that experience, where would I be today? And so I remember where Robert and I were sitting when we had the conversation. I remember, I could still feel my gut reaction, to that, because it was fearful, it was like, there's just no way. And God, he helped me to be able to take that step. I truly believe it with every cell in my body that he helped me to be open-minded, because I could not have done that on my own.
It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yes.
So if people have questions, they could contact you as our bookkeeper.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.